So if you look at this piece of paper here, this G1 overlaps with this H4 band. So I'm going to put some G1 down in here to keep it out of H4. I'm going to put some H4 in here. I'm going to start my G range up in here. I have all the way out to here without any overlap. It's a good way of getting the right frequency spacing so your send antennas don't mess with your receive antennas. Okay, I'll be back in a minute because I'm going to get a newer version. I have yet to update this, but what I try and do is I try and map everything out, and I've got all the television channels in here. Now, if you see, they're all in 6 megahertz divisions. That's because digital television is 6 megahertz bandwidth, right? I can see where the holes are, so that I have a really good understanding of where I need to place the RF, right? And you see, like here in the 2000 series, B overlaps quite a bit with Shure L3. Go for Tony.
Are you in need of any hands? I have 4 left.
No, I don't need any hands.
Okay, good.
Thank you. So what I would do is I would pick and choose. I'm going to try and keep my B-band Sennheiser below 650, and I'm going to try and keep all my L3 frequencies. If I do 650, then if I put 12 to 18 megahertz, I can start anywhere from 662 to 668 and work that way all up to 698. I'll probably try and keep it between 662 and 678 so that I got some room for this AKG stuff that I need to fit in this upper register. But this helps me determine what the spacing is going to be for each frequency, so I don't have a bunch of overlap, because my send antenna is really close to my receive antenna. I want to keep it small and tight, and by having this chart, it's going to allow me to figure out a lot of stuff. So the gear that I'm using, I got a little netbook, Samsung netbook. It's an NC10. You can pick it up for $300 at Best Buy. And this computer has got every audio program that I use. It's running Windows XP, and I got 1 gigabyte of RAM in it. So there's nothing special about this machine. The program that I'm using to figure all this stuff out is Intermodulation Analysis System version 4.8. Professional Wireless makes this, and it's definitely the best program to use in this application. You could use Wireless Workbench 5. Wireless Workbench 5 is free, but it doesn't have all the parameters that this thing has, as far as like working with off-brand items. You could do it in Workbench, but you have to code those things in so that the program knows what the frequency bands, what the operating issues are for those off-brand items. I use a TTI 1301T spectrum analyzer, so 1.3 gigahertz spectrum analyzer. And I'm using this in conjunction with this intermodulation analysis program to figure out the best placement for frequencies. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to open up my previous file from my last show, which is going to be Milwaukee. So there is my file from Milwaukee, which shows me my NTSC stations that are broadcasting, my digital television stations that are broadcasting, and then my frequency selection for the different things I'm doing. There's my guitar wireless right there. There's all my IEM wireless right there. There's all my RF mics right there. And it looks like it's a lot of frequencies, and it is, because I also include 2 spares for every band. That way, when something goes wrong in RF world, there's a spare already figured out that'll work with the coordination that you have, because if people start going rogue in the middle of the show, they could knock out a mic channel, they could knock out an IEM channel, so it's really important to have spares in the coordination. Go for Toni.
You know where the feeder tapes ended up?
Stage left bomb. You said it was coming from upstage left, right?
Yeah. I'm not seeing it.
Should be somewhere around that bomb, upstage left. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So I'm going to go to the TV data wizard, and I'm going to pick US television, and then I'm going to put in a zip code. And let me find out what today's zip code is. 55402. So we'll be typing in 55402. Automatically knows it's Minneapolis. How does it know this? It knows this because this program uses the FCC database to determine what television stations are active in your location. And you can put your location in either by using a zip code or a GPS coordinate. So now it tells me I've got 4 television frequencies in NTSC, and then I got all this stuff in DTV. But it has invalidated my coordination. So what I need to do is I need to recalc all these frequencies. I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to recalculate all frequencies. And now this program is going to do some number crunching.
That's awesome. Really
It's pretty cool.
Up for Tony.
Go for Tony.
So these subwheels that are in the feeder should go up at the top of the truck, correct?
Yeah, they're going to go back in the attic with the rest of them. And there we have it. Now it's recalced all these frequencies. And how do I know which ones stayed and which ones left? Well, they're different colors. Black didn't get touched, but brown is a recalculation, right? So if you look through all my frequencies, you'll see that I got a lot of G's that changed. I got some B's that changed, some G1s, 1H4, 4L3 frequencies. So now that I have this information, I'm going to start using my scanner, my RF devices sheet, and this other little piece that I made up, which is my frequency plot on a card. And as I'm looking at things on the scanner, I'm also verifying the television channels in this program to make sure that this information here is correct. Because even though it's getting its info from the FCC, sometimes you'll see some RF things that don't match up to these. And what I'll do is I'll find out what frequency band they're in, and then I'll add that television channel to the calculation, right? If you see here, I don't know if you can zoom into this, but 572 to 578 would be channel 31. This little card here is a very invaluable tool when you need to figure out what television channel you think you're looking at. So let's see, we're going to go with G-band. So on this scanner here, I've stored a bunch of settings. And there's my Shure UHF-R1G. And now I'm looking at 470 to 530. And already I see a couple of things happening, like this point right here. This point right here looks like it's a television station, an analog television station. It's 520. If I look at my card, 520 is channel 22. I got a channel 22 right there in DTV, but that doesn't look like DTV, it looks like analog. So I'm going to change this to NTSC. I'm going to go to Tools, and let's see, Options, no. Edit TV, DTV stations.